Gooner, let you share the groups.
Yes, we are back with the Gooner Talks transfers, and I was all smiles and this and that earlier. Hey, Declan Rice here while I'm on the stream. Oh, shits and giggles. It was great. Now it's doom and gloom. Now I'm here to discuss reports that Thomas Partey has apparently agreed terms to move away from Arsenal Football Club. And this doesn't make me feel real good, bruv. It doesn't make many Gooners feel very good. And at the moment, Arsenal have been working so well in the transfer window, but to lose our two key midfielders so early on, it doesn't instill faith in me or many Gooners. But guys, if you haven't, look, please subscribe, like, share, do all that. And look, I'm going to introduce my co-hosts because I need like hands all around me, everyone holding hands and shit for this one. Silva Fox, thank you for joining us, mate. How you feeling, mate? How you doing? You doing all right, mate? You okay?
Yeah, I'm doing it like you. You know, weekend was great. You know, all the news coming in, Timber, Rice. You know, we were loving life. And then obviously we wake up today and we're seeing reports that Partey could be on his way out. It's not ideal, but we're going to get into that. But yeah, but it's just a pleasure to be back on your stream, Aussie. It's been a long time coming. It's been a long time since I shared the screen with the other two guys below me. So yeah, let's get to it.
Let's get it done, bro. Thank you for joining us. Luca, in the building. Doom and gloom. Luca, I wish I'd have brought you on here for good times, good vibes. I brought you here to just cry with me, bro. How you doing, man? Hey, you going good? Good?
Yeah, I'm very good, mate. I'm very good. Thank you very much for having me on. But seeing this Thomas Partey news is a little bit underwhelming.
It's a bit like that. Nigel, One Touch TV.
Oh yeah, now my people. It's your dark-skinned man from the motherland. If you didn't know before, now today you go understand. And you know me, I'm always the energy guy. But the party seems like it is over. The gate crashes have come in and locked off the party. That's what it's looking like right now. And I'm upset. But yeah, as you said, as Silva said, Luca, we're going to get into it. Big up Aussie Gooner. Smash the like button, everyone that's watching.
Big up the co-host, big up the chat, big up everyone. And to be perfectly honest, I'm not going to big up anyone from Arsenal Football Club for this one, guys. This speculation around Thomas Partey's future, we were hearing about it early days. And I think most Arsenal fans were just like, yeah, nah. We were kind of just letting it roll. Juventus, Saudi Arabia, whatever. But now it's come to a point where numerous outlets are suggesting that he is ready to sign. I mean, from what I'm hearing, it's Al Nassr. And it's looking like it's almost signing on a dotted line. And with Thomas Partey not traveling with Arsenal to the United States, is this a clear enough sign for us to say that see you later, alligator? Is it 100%? Because right now it's it's high in the 90s. Are we in agreement that we're pretty much seeing the last of Thomas Partey? Because I'm thinking it's done. I honestly believe Thomas Partey's out the door. I'm not going to wait for the next couple of days. I'm pretty much saying it right now. I think he's gone. I'm going to throw it at Niger because I know Niger is not going to be feeling real good right now.
It looks like all signs are pointing to Thomas Partey being sold by Arsenal, and for me, that's so disappointing because it weakens our title challenge. It brings us into this season weaker than it was than we came into last season. For me, I know everyone's excited. Declan Rice, Timber, all these ones, and I'm excited too. Great window. We still have to discuss the Havertz one, but I'll give it 10 games and then we'll revisit that one. Then. But Partey, is the key. Let's not get it twisted. Like you see Arteta fans. They're the reason why they were frustrated. I'm Arteta in, and you guys know me. I've been Arteta in, even though sometimes I don't agree with some of his decisions. I'm Arteta in, and these Arteta sexuals, they don't understand that concept of I'm Arteta in, but the manager can get it wrong also. And no matter what, I don't know what's gone on, but he should be bending over backwards to keep Partey at the club, because although the last 8 games, people want to talk about the last 8 games, he was missing, blah, blah. Okay, you got to tell me three other players that weren't missing. Do you get what I'm saying? Like everyone was missing in the last 8 games. No one turned up. So it's not just him. Yeah, they're like, but he's the most experienced. I get it. And I would have preferred he showed up too. But if we do things like keep Partey and then sign the likes of Lavia, when we're in scenarios like that with the last 8 games to go, we can throw in a Lavia, we can throw in potentially a Havertz. So we have options. This time we didn't have options. Do you get me? So that's more of the problem than Thomas Partey. And I believe it costs so much more to replace him than to risk keeping him this season and maybe him going for maybe 25, 30 million next season. I'm okay with that if we challenge for the title again. I'm well okay with it. And I know the fan base would be too.
I mean, look, I completely agree with you, Nigel. Silva, I look at our midfield last season, and it might have been makeshift with Granit Xhaka and Thomas Partey, obviously not makeshift. We've just gutted our midfield. Right? The midfield that was working somewhat well for, let's say, 90% of the season. Is this a bit troubling right now to expect Declan Rice to come in and just hit the ground running? And right now, as of right now, if Thomas Partey is to leave, the only person that looks like could be the number 8 is Kai Havertz. Does this make you bounce around the walls jumping for joy, or is this something right now that you're just shaking your head at? Because I am not too excited about this. Your thoughts, mate?
Well, we spoke about this privately before, Steve. You know, we looked at Rice as a potential number 8. We thought Rice would be the Xhaka replacement, but it's looking more like he's coming in for Partey. And the thing is, you know, Nigel touched on the fact that, you know, towards the end of the season he was having a bit of a stinker, but I think that was down to the fact that there was a lot of changes in our team, and obviously Silva went down, so he has to do a lot more, which was just obviously too much for him.
And he was potentially carrying an injury as well, I heard.
And there's that as well.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, exactly that. So, yeah, I'm concerned because as good as Rice is at a 6, I would have wanted him to see him as an 8. And now it's looking even more likely that Havertz is going to be that 8, which I'm not really convinced with, by the way. I mean, the whole Havertz thing is like Nigel said, that's a completely different stream. We'll give him 10 games, whatever. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, it's worrying. It is worrying. Who do we get in to replace him? Because if you're going to say we're selling him for what, 45 million, 40 million, something like that, he is effectively, for what he does in the team, he's £100 million player. So you're not going to be able to find a replacement for him.
No, not that easily.
Without spending 100 million, exactly. Yeah.
And that's what I mean. And I've been screaming about Lavia for ages. I want him in the team, but the kid's, he's only 19 still, and I would have liked him to have come while Partey was here, so Partey would take him under his wing, show him the ropes and all that, and learn from him. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's a concern. But does that confirm to us that Rice is actually a Partey replacement? That's what I want to. That's what I want to know.
But do you know? I don't think it does, because I don't think Arteta was interested in Rice with thinking that Partey was going to leave this summer. I think this kind of came out of nowhere. I don't know. Who knows? Because we've not really heard anything about Partey leaving until the season was over. So I'm assuming he wanted him to play with Partey rather than as a replacement for Partey. That's what I think, anyway.
What I will say is, because obviously a lot of Arsenal fans talking about the fact that, you know, letting both Xhaka and Partey go at the same window is crazy. Okay,
suicide, bro.
But at the same time, is it, you know, with the situation going on with Man City, Gundogan gone, as good as Kovacic is, he's not that level. You know, you look
Mahrez.
at Chelsea, yeah, Mahrez as well. You look at Chelsea.
Hey, okay, Tony, don't you come on, you're better than that.
I
Don't
know,
do
I
the
know.
City thing. Do not question City and Pep Guardiola ever. Even if they change 11 players, I'm still nervous, bro.
I'm not because I'm going on to Chelsea.
Okay.
Chelsea are they're I don't know what they're doing at the moment. I think they know what.
Mhm.
Liverpool, they've got to replace their midfielders as well. I think Thiago could be the next one gone as well. You look at you don't know. You don't know. You know, he's at that age now. You also got the likes of Man United. Their midfield's changing. Although I think out of all the midfields, they probably look most solid, if I'm honest. In terms of, you know, the players that have been there for a while. Although saying that, I don't think McFred's going to be anywhere to be seen. So maybe you could say there's a change there as well. You could. So maybe Arsenal look at that game. Well, everyone else is having this transitional thing with the midfielders. So maybe now is the time. I don't know.
Now's the time to capitalize on their changes. That's what the chat is. That's what it is. That's what it should be.
But also, we don't really want to talk about.
We're
obviously, he's had his allegations. We don't want to go into that, but that might be a factor.
Look, to be honest, with look, we all know what City are doing in the background, and like Nigel said, City are doing what City's business, and how they want to travel is up to them. Right now, as Arsenal Football Club, we've seen the gaps in our squad, and with terms pretty much agreed. Like, so it was apparently this wasn't going to happen. That, you know, Partey doesn't want to play in the Saudi league. He doesn't want this. But when there's 200k on the table for a player like him, it's looking like it's done and dusted. And for me, as an Arsenal fan, I look at, preseason kicks off, his part, and then all of a sudden when it comes to going to USA, no, we don't have to have him there. ESR as well. These two signs worry me. And now with us getting rid of two key players in Granit Xhaka and Thomas Partey, right, and not having a bench like Manchester City, it's troubling. Don't get me wrong, Declan Rice is there. I don't count Kai Havertz. Luca, you tell me. When you look at Kai Havertz, do you see Kai Havertz making, I don't know, any contribution in the midfield for Arsenal if Thomas Partey leaves?
First, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Basically, look, I'm happy with the transfer window at the moment, but the only issue I have is Kai Havertz, right? Like, this is the problem with our fan base, right? People think that we're actually going to get Kai Havertz to Bayern Leverkusen. We might do, we might not get the best out of them, right? But I don't see where Kai Havertz fits in our system. Is Mikel Arteta going to play him in the number 8 role? If he plays him in the number 8 role as a backup to Odegaard, I'm all up for it. But I do not want to see him in a Granit Xhaka role. Yes, it was only a pre-season friendly the other day. It doesn't matter what players play in what position because it's only a first game, right? Back. But seeing Havertz in a different position the other day felt a little bit underwhelmed. Because for me, look, Rice and Timber, buzzing, great. But Havertz, for me, I'm not too sure. You could have used that 65 million on 2 players. We could have put that money towards, if the club knew that we were going to sell Thomas Partey, right? Why did we buy Kai Havertz in the first place? Right?
So you fix that first. Yeah.
Another panic, right? And then we end up paying over 200 grand a week we're paying for this guy, right? Like, how many times are we going for these Chelsea rejects? Have we not learned from these Chelsea rejects? Like, that 65 million, you could have used that on Caicedo. Could have invested by sending a couple of players, make 10, 15 million pounds on 1 or 2 players, slap 80 million pounds, you've got Caicedo. So, and then the backup from Odegaard, Smith Rowe. So what? It doesn't make sense for me to have Kai Havertz, but I'll back Kai Havertz. We're all back Kai Havertz now because he's an Arsenal player, right? And we all want him to do well. But yes, I can understand. Yes, he's young. That's a positive sign, right? He's not a retirement just yet. But for me, I just don't understand why we brought Kai Havertz in. Like, for me, look, it's cool, it's fine, but it doesn't make sense in my opinion. But so far, the transfer window is looking great. But about the Partey situation, I don't mind if Partey goes as long as we get a proper replacement. I like Lavia, right? I think he's a good player. But what I'm worried about is that this is what people don't get, right? Is that if we only bring Lavia in and then don't bring anyone else in, surely that cannot be the replacement. But something tells me, right, I'm not 100% definite, but something tells me I think I've got a little bit of hope that we might go in for Caicedo. Because Chelsea would have...
But Luca, you see me, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, if we let Partey leave, whoever we bring in, even though I love a Caicedo or maybe a Tchouaméni as an outside chance, whoever we bring in, we still lost two of the core of our midfield from last season. So I'm nervous at everyone coming in. To be honest, I'm literally, but like, if Partey left for me, then Arteta just has to make a decision. Look, Xhaka, I know I said you could leave in the summer, but do you know what? You got to stay one more year, and then we'll let you go on a free or whatever, or we extend the contract to make you have a year to whatever. I don't know. Keep Xhaka for an extra year, and then let Partey go, because both of them going, it's too much, bro. It's just like the Liverpool situation. Henderson, Fabinho, and what's it called? Milner have gone as well. I think that's too much for them. No matter how good the players they bring in is great. Like, you got Szoboszlai and all that. They're exciting players, McAllister, but it's still a lot because they're in a rebuild. We're not really in a rebuild, but we're creating a rebuild situation because we've got rid of two players in the midfield when we're supposed to be building on top of things, not stripping stuff away and then replacing it. I don't like it, man. It's horrible.
It's looking like a tear down instead of just a little bit of a spruce up. Instead of Arsenal going in and doing some little odds and ends inside this new home, they're coming in and knocking down walls. And I think everybody was screaming for the depth. And you wonder how teams can go and, pick up some depth in players. Granit Xhaka moving onto the bench, or Thomas Partey on and off the bench. This is how you can create a complete squad. But by making transfers like Arsenal have been at the moment, where it's almost like for like, Granit Xhaka out, Kai Havertz in, Thomas Partey, Declan Rice in, Thomas Partey out. How have we improved this squad?
But the thing is,
when we look at the big picture.
Sorry to interrupt. And the thing is, why can't we not keep Partey for a season, or at least minimum in January, right? Have Lavia coming for in the football club. Have Partey stay for at least minimum 6 months so Lavia can learn experience from him. Why is it that we have to always leave short? We have a fantastic transfer window, and so far it's looking good at the moment. Nothing's not gone wrong. But there's only a little issue is that the Thomas Partey situation. Until Arsenal have something up, go and get a Caicedo. Go and get a Tchouaméni. Go and get someone like that. That's going to come in. Someone out there that is similar levels to Thomas Partey. Lavia is good, and I think he will become a good player. But we can't only just have Lavia in the club.
People are telling me Declan Rice is better than Thomas Partey, and with all due respect, I love Declan Rice in it. But for me, he's not had the season that Partey had last season for me yet at West Ham. Yeah, he won his trophy, blah blah. But his performance level throughout last season, nobody can tell me he outperformed Thomas Partey. Nobody, even if you include the last 8 games.
He's part of our title challenge. If he wasn't in our team, would we have actually been in the title challenge last?
Not even a chance, bro.
I think I think Thomas Partey was obviously key to Arsenal's success last season. So was Granit Xhaka. But when we look at the players that we're linked to, all right, look at the players, Lavia and Caicedo. Caicedo has one good season, and everyone's jumping for joy. Now that's great. I know he's young. He's only gotten a chance now. That's great. He could be the next king shit. I want to swear. I don't care. It's my channel. Fuck it. But what shits me is that we're looking at these players and their inflated prices of 80 million. And then I have the counter argument of Declan Rice was 105. Isn't that inflated? He's been doing this for 4 or 5 years with West Ham. These guys have only just, like Caicedo and Lavia, have only just started to pick up form. Now, this could continue, or it could end up like Emil Smith-Rowe. Emil Smith-Rowe was doing great for Arsenal. He got injured. What happened? Disappeared for a whole season. It happened with Fofana at Chelsea. He moved to Chelsea. He got injured. M.I. fucking A. Great player. Where is he now? He's not. He's almost a shadow of his former self. This could happen when you get young players come in. Now, I look at these players that we're linked with, Lavia and Caicedo. Guys, jump in on this. Jump in the ring on me on this one. Are these guys better? Or are they on par with Thomas Partey? Or are they worse? Because these are the two players we're linked with.
No, they're not even on par yet, because obviously, like you said, they're still young and they've still got to learn. They've got a long way to go. They're very, very good players. But I agree with you, Steve, because Caicedo, based on what, one season, and a good World Cup, 80 million for. I mean, look, I would pay 40 million at most for him. I would at most after that one good season he's had, which is why I look at Lavia more because he's younger. I think he's pretty much similar level to Caicedo, given he played for a relegated team. But he was the best player in that relegated team. For goodness sake, Maddison got relegated and he's gone to Tottenham, and I think he's going to have a good season there, as much as it pains me to say it. So, it's a funny one. And I don't know where the Caicedo hype comes from. I don't know. I honestly really don't know where it comes from. I'm sorry.
Come on, Tony. He's a baller. No, he's a baller, bro. Let's not do that. Let's not do that.
He didn't even start most of the games, tail end of last season. So Brighton didn't really Brighton are very clever. They're a very clever team. Very for clubs.
People started talking about Caicedo last season, not this season. He had one full good season this time.
Why couldn't they? Because no one was about 12 months ago. Because the season
yes, they were, bro. They were. Coming into last season, people were talking about Caicedo, and then he proved it this season.
Before, 8 times, and before that, when he was playing in Belgium, he played. Bro,
he played more than 8 games the season before. Don't do that. Don't do that. He played more than 8 games. Bro. No. Look, coming into this last season, people were talking about Caicedo, a player to look out for, 100%. Then he had a full season. And then we saw, okay, he's not just one to talk about. I'm not saying he's on Partey's level. I'm not saying that. For me, personally, we have to go and get Caicedo and Lavia if we sell Partey. For me, I'm like honestly, like anything. Huh?
You spend 80 million after one good season, though.
Yeah,
bro. He's not, bro. None of these players are worth the money, bro. Like none of them. The only player that's gone for his exact price is McAllister. Then I have Liverpool have managed to pull that off, but that's how much like Caicedo should be going for them 35 million, 40 million, that sort of stuff. Rice as well, 50 million max as well. He should be going for 50 million. And don't get me started about Havertz, because boy,
I'm telling you now, Caicedo just has a more exotic name than Pascal Gross. He's just as good as Pascal Gross. That's all I'm saying.
But you know what? You got to think about it. You got to give the man some credit here because he has. Look, I'm kind of on Tony's side on this one, and I'm going to bring in another person that might agree with this. And my guy Akpos enters the building now, and Akpos, we've been discussing. My guy, not your guy. My guy, not your guy. Formerly your guy. My guy now. You know what I mean? I make sure I recruit well, unlike Arsenal.
He's abandoned me, man. Free transfer. You can have it.
Akpos in the building, my guy. How you doing? Welcome to the show.
I'm doing good, brother. Thanks for having me on the show.
Absolute pleasure. The conversation as it's been rolling at the moment, it's Thomas Partey's looking like he's pretty much out the door. Linked with Al Nassr, in the Saudi league. Apparently, it's all but done. He hasn't gone over to America with Arsenal. I wonder why. And at the moment, me and the boys are talking about the players that we're linked with at the moment, and big up everyone in the chat. Big up everyone in the chat because I think you guys can see where we're coming from. We're looking at Lavia and we're looking at Moses Caicedo. And my question here is Lavia or Moses Caicedo better than Thomas Partey or on par with Thomas Partey? Because if Partey leaves, which it's pretty much done and dusted, okay, let's just call a spade a spade. He's pretty much out the door. If Partey leaves and we get Lavia or Moises Caicedo, have we improved? Because we're literally just making signings like for like. But you tell me, what do you think? Lavia, Moses Caicedo in comparison to Thomas Partey?
Well, I think you already know what my answer on this one would be because all through the period where we've been hearing all of those links with Thomas Partey going out of the door, I've been worried about those links because Lavia, Moses Caicedo, both are very good players. Both are players who are still developing. They've not gotten to that peak level yet. But Thomas Partey, for me, I think is tried, tested, and trusted. As in, we know that this guy is a player who's at that peak level at the moment. We don't know what the ceiling will be for Romeo Lavia or Moses Caicedo in the next couple of years. Maybe they could even be potentially better players than Thomas Partey. But that on its own, I think that's a risk. If either of them, but it looks like Caicedo is going to Chelsea, though. I don't know what miracle, what magic we are going to do, but so far the news that we know, Caicedo is going to head to the blue side of blue half of London. So, but for Lavia, I don't think if Lavia comes in and we lose Thomas Partey, I don't think we'll spread it because Lavia is not on the same level as Thomas Partey. And if we really want to go head to head with again with a monster of an opponent like Manchester City, I think we need to go on a midfielder that's got a higher ceiling right now compared to Lavia. And for me, I'm looking at the options, looking at the players. I think the one player that I would have said, okay, if push comes to shove, we have to lose Thomas Partey. Who do I think we need to go for? It's going to be Tchouaméni, but that's going to be a very difficult deal to get through the door because firstly, he's playing at Real Madrid, which is the biggest football club in the world, if arguably. Some people want to argue that, but I think that's the biggest football club in the world. He has got opportunities for titles there. He's a starting midfielder already, unless maybe things have changed. He's no longer in the starting 11 of the manager and all. But so far, I think that's going to be a very difficult deal because it's going to also command a huge transfer fee. And looking at the amount of money we've spent so far, I'm not convinced we have that kind of amount to pull that transfer over because that's going to be above 70 million euros, maybe 80 million euros if we want to get that one done. Or maybe if we can get an opportunity to sign him on loan with an option to buy. But let's see what's going to happen. But if Thomas Partey go out of the door, bro, personally, I will be very worried about our chance to challenge for the title again this season.
Honestly, I couldn't agree with you more with Thomas Partey leaving because it's all about depth for me. It's all about Arsenal making the right moves. And I don't think anyone here would... I mean, look, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't feel as if Arsenal are going to come out there and spend 80 or 90 million pounds, and that's what I believe they're going to have to spend to replace Thomas Partey. Exactly. Not someone that could be as... Yes, not someone to be, one day as good as Thomas Partey, but to be as good as Thomas Partey
right now,
sooner rather than later. Do you guys believe that Arsenal are going to come in and splash the serious kind of coin, or they're going to come in, and I hate to say it, but band-aid this situation?
Aussie,
Yo.
There's nobody we can buy that's going to be as good as Thomas Partey this season. Nobody, bro. No. Caicedo, Tchouaméni, as good as these players are going to be for us, don't get it twisted. They're going to be great players for us, but as of this current season we're going into, there's nobody that we can buy that can replace Thomas Partey. Rodri, yeah. Casemiro, yeah. But can we buy any of those people? No. So other than those two, there's nobody for me in world football that can replace what Partey brings to our team this season. There's people that can be played into that role as of maybe back end of this season, more like next season. But right now, if we want to challenge for the title this current season, which we have to, and don't get it twisted, Aussie, I don't care who we come into the season with Partey, without Partey. Yeah. Arteta, there's no excuses for you. I'm not going to say, we don't have a squad strong enough to challenge. I don't care. You say we do, so I'm going to get behind that. Do you get me? So you need to prove to me that this sword of Havertz is not going to be the sword that you die on. Because if you let Partey leave, that Havertz thing, it's actually either going to be the thing you excel on or the sword that you die on, because it's going to be really, really scrutinized with our lack of experience in midfield without Partey. So let's see what you're saying, man. I hope he gets it right. I pray for him. But boy,
Silva's got a bit of a smile on his face here.
No, I don't know, because I don't know how you guys are going to react to this. But do you think?
Go for it.
That Arteta's, he likes to look at how City do things, and obviously you got John Stones that obviously moves up. I was expecting that from you, Gooner. Is he going to do something like that with either Timber or White?
You reckon?
Luca, you have this, mate. I'm not involved.
For me, right. Timber can also play in right back. He can also play centre back and also midfield. For me, I haven't seen much of Timber in midfield for Ajax, so I can't really know. But that is an option where I would like Arsenal to see, because I get the John Stones situation. Like what Manchester City are trying to do is have John Stones in that midfield. I'm guessing we can try it. I think it could work. Like we don't know until we see it. But
as an inverted right back, yeah, but not as a DM, bro. Never.
No, but maybe like some of games, maybe we can play Timber in the midfield where we're like comfortable winning the game or something like that, maybe. But I would prefer ideal maybe have Timber as a right back, as a backup, because Ben White, for me, I'd prefer him as a right back, because I don't want to see Ben White moving back as a centre back. I don't think he's not good enough.
Really?
No, I don't think he's not good enough at centre back. I think he's better as a right back, because I think a right back he links up very well with Saka, and I think it works very well, and that's why we bought Timber. And if Saliba gets injured again, you bring Timber and Gabriel. Like you've got so much cover in that position, where I would rather see Timber playing at the back. Like look, we don't know, we haven't seen him play in midfield. I've not seen him played in midfield. But I think Timber's going to come in Morney as a backup to Gabriel and Saliba, and also backup as Tomiyasu, really.
So we're saying that there's no way Timber can jump in. Now, here's one that you guys might like. Everyone talks about Alexander Zinchenko being a midfielder.
Bro, he's not a DM. He's not a DM.
I know that.
Push comes to shove. Would you be confident with seeing him as the lone pivot patrolling that area, trying to provide cover for your defense? If teams are
stop saying it, stop talking about Akpos, please stop.
That this is going to sound horrible. If Declan Rice falls into the 6 role, and Zinchenko falls into some sort of an 8 role, this is something that could be. I don't like it.
What are you thinking about?
I don't like it.
What happens, Steve? If we're not praying for an injury to happen. Let's say Declan Rice has got an injury, first or second game into the season, 3 months out. What happens then?
Jorginho FC, bro. That's what happens. This is our problem. We don't have depth. This is why I'm a little bit upset about Partey leaving and us not having the cover.
Back to square one. Back to square zero. Back to square zero. Where we're coming from.
Yeah, but this is the thing, right? Like I 100% agree, because this is why, yes, bringing in Lavia would be good. This is why you have to be cautious, right? If you sell Thomas Partey now and only have Lavia in and nobody else, if Declan Rice gets injured, we don't know if Rice is going to get injured.
Exactly.
But if he does get injured, then you're going to have Jorginho and Lavia. Does anyone really trust Jorginho and Lavia? No, nobody will not trust it. So this is why if Lavia only comes in, you have to add another midfielder in.
Exactly.
Even if it's not Caicedo, regardless, you have to add another midfielder.
My brother, it has to be Caicedo or Tchouaméni, bro. Tchouaméni and Lavia, both of them.
Bro.
That's the only potential thing that might get me. Okay, do you know what? Even though we lost Partey, we got in Tchouaméni or we got in Caicedo and the Lavia. That's the only thing that makes me think, do you know what? Yeah, we're serious again.
Yeah, we're serious.
Exactly.
Why can't we not do that? Why can't we not do that? Yes, we've had a great... Why is it that we always have to have a great transfer window so far, but it never ends on a good high? Why don't we not do that?
Because we still got Sam.
Like Ryan, Mr. Arsenal podcast says about Mohamed El Neni. Mohamed El Neni is going to stay at the football club because obviously he's one of those players who
during their badges.
He's going to become a coach. Nobody isn't going to buy Mohamed El Neni. So he has a point there. We do have Mohamed El Neni as a cover.
Cover for what? Duvet cover?
No, Mohamed El Neni can come in as well. But is he going to be able?
You don't want to go there.
We've outgrown that situation.
Every single week. That's the thing. Like you don't know what performance you're going to get from Mohamed El Neni.
He does score bangers though.
Only bangers.
Out of nowhere.
Only bangers.
The last minute FC banger from Mohamed El Neni, and then he gets injured.
Player at the football club at the moment.
Imagine El Neni bangs in the championship winning goal.
Holding is, isn't he?
Holding
Absolute scenes.
Oh God.
Steve,
we need to grow out of that on anything.
Steve, I think I see a comment coming from Adam. I don't know. I think that's the whole what explains this whole situation we are finding ourselves with the Thomas Partey links. I think the one just before Tunnel TV's comment. Shout out to Tunnel TV.
Big up, Kanebi.
Big up, Tunnel. To big up everyone in the chat. I am reading through these and there are great comments. Please, if you haven't liked, please like this content.
Smash that, man.
Smash it. And please look, descriptions are in the the links to my guys' channels are in the description. Please check it out. And I'm gonna put a little thing spinning past in a minute. But where are we talking? Which comment are you talking about?
The one that says it does not want us to shoot ourselves in the foot.
We're just about to. We're about to start. It's going to be limping FC.
That's all I think of when I think of us losing Thomas Partey right now, because it's going to be very hard to get a midfielder who is on that level. Very hard. Let's look at the division. How many midfielders are on that level currently? How many? And the ones,
right now,
the ones who are on that level, are they willing to leave their football club? How do you convince them to move?
Not necessarily.
And when you even convince them to move, you have to pay top tier money. Do we have that money readily available lying about right now?
Only if we sell players, because if we don't sell players, it's going to lead up to FFP rules, and we don't want that.
Yeah, we're not cheap.
So I think the best decision now, the way I look at it, it's Thomas Partey has to stay at least until the end of this season.
Yeah. If he does that just changes all conversations, bro. Like that makes it easier for the Rice thing to blend in. Like it makes it if we got a little 50 million towards the end of the season, we can say, drop that on a little Lavia.
We don't really need to go out and get a big midfielder. No, we don't. We can just go out. We can just go out and sign maybe someone like a Lavia, for example.
Yeah,
exactly.
And make him a big midfielder for next season. Exactly.
Yeah, you get Lavia, and that is a bigger squad midfielder. Then go and get a big replacement for Partey next year.
Facts.
That makes so much sense.
Why can't Edu and Mikel Arteta not realise that?
I don't get it, bro. I don't get it. And maybe we don't even need that big player in the next summer because Lavia has become the player we wanted him to be. So it saves us money in the long run. So losing Partey costs us a minimum of 100 million. And I think that's not even enough to replace him because we need to buy 2 players for me. If we keep him, we risk maybe losing him for 25 million or 20 million next season. But yet we might have a Premier League trophy behind us by that time. Do you get me? So I don't think anyone's complaining them.
I think if we had have moved for a midfielder like Lavia before this Thomas Partey move was made, everybody would feel a little bit relaxed.
Extremely. I'll be cocky even. I'd actually be cocky.
You'd be jumping for joys. But right now, it's not looking like that. It's looking like we're making moves when we have to. And unfortunately, I think if we do see Lavia come in, it's not going to be for depth. It's going to be for a squad position. It's going to be for a role. It's going to be up to Declan Rice to try to get him in position and the rest of the players to try to shift him in position. And I do believe that we're going to be left a little bit weakened in the midfield. Where we were looking at our midfield this transfer window and saying, it's looking great, we're looking strong. Arsenal about to have one of the best midfields, and we would have had one of the best midfields with Declan Rice, Thomas Partey, Martin Odegaard, and Lavia on the bench. And most people were talking about that and saying that's a brick wall of a midfield. Now it's looking a little bit like another band-aid solution in the middle of the park for Arsenal. And I'll be perfectly honest with you guys. I honestly think this is a massive gamble right now from Arsenal. I really do believe that. Sorry, we just lost Silva Fox. He had to leave. I'm sorry. I think it's a massive shot in the foot. When it comes to Arsenal Football Club right now, if they allow 2 senior midfielders to leave in the same window, only to bring in one of quality and some, academy, junior, apprentice, I don't think it's going to be shits and giggles next season. I can't see it. I don't see how we've solved any problems that we had last season with the signings of Lavia and Declan Rice with Thomas Partey and Granit Xhaka leaving. I can't see how this is supposed to make us better.
Yeah, this stinks of Jorginho is going to get a bigger role this season, and that scares me.
Oh, fuck my life.
That's what this stinks of. If you're letting Partey leave, that's what this actually stinks of, and I'm scared, but I'm petrified about that happening, bro. Literally. We need to keep Thomas Partey. We are scary. Imagine we have Partey, Odegaard, and Rice as our midfield, right? Then it makes it easier to maybe give Odegaard a rest, throw in Havertz in a game, 30 minutes to go. Maybe we can see what Rice and Havertz looks like for certain games. Like, it gives us so many variations of starting 11s where, for a change, as Arsenal fans, we don't know which 11 is going to be picked for each game. Do you get what I'm saying? We could basically pick our 11 with our eyes closed last season, but now, if we keep Partey and this competition we could have for places and different options, it makes us scary and unpredictable. Do you get what I mean? So, but
Exactly.
Partey going is just, bro, it stresses me out, man, because even though I know we're not strong enough to go for a title run if we lose Partey, I got to back it, because there's no excuses for us with all this money we're spending now. We don't get let off. We don't get to challenge for just top 4 again. We don't. And that's the reality of it, bro.
I don't know, guys. I don't know. And there's a comment here. There's 2 comments here that really stick out. Mike in Perth, my guy, he's saying he doesn't want to be here. He no longer wants to be here. Now, Tony Fulbrook.
Can I say something about that? Can I say something
Partey
about
wants
that?
to leave.
If he really wants to leave, we've seen what happened with the whole Granit Xhaka situation.
Bernardo Silva at City.
It was
Gundogan
exactly
at City.
Those were players who had one foot out of the door, but they were convinced by the manager to stay at least a season more till they could potentially be on a better position to replace them. So I think it's not out of Mikel's reach if that's the only problem. If the player wants to leave, I think you can still convince him, okay, Thomas Partey, you stay till the end of the season, where the football club and I would be in a better position to be able to replace you like for like. And because I think if you go now, you'll be weakening the team. So I think it is still. I think Mikel Arteta has got a lot of role to play here also, because if you can convince Granit Xhaka with how bad the relationship was then to stay, definitely, if that's the only problem here, it can still convince Thomas Partey to stay.
I think I understand where you're coming from, but I think, sorry, we've just lost Nigerian Englishmen. I think we'll probably see Kanebi in a second. But feel me on this, right? Thomas Partey wants to be at Arsenal Football Club. Why isn't he in America right now?
For me, look, I think the reason why that Thomas Partey is not in America at the moment is because of his future. I think it's because of his future. Do I think he wants to leave? Possibly. But I think it comes down to Mikel Arteta. If Arteta doesn't want the player, then explain to me why he doesn't want the player. Because, quite frankly, it's just, look, I can understand Xhaka leaving. He's been at the football club for a very, very long time. Would have been nice to keep him for another year, but it was the right thing to do. But like I said earlier, if you're going to get rid of Thomas Partey now, and if he's not part of that plane by USA, it's not a problem for now because we're playing these friendly matches. But when the season starts, when the Charity Shield starts in 2.5 weeks' time, that is where it's going to be a problem. And if you haven't got a replacement in by then, you're going into that first game of the season under pressure. Yes, it's against Nottingham Forest, right? I expect us to win that game, but no easy game. You never know what can happen in the Prem. But going into that game under pressure where you haven't got a replacement. And it wouldn't surprise me if we do that. It would not surprise me, right? And then we end up buying Lavia, right? And then Caicedo ends up going elsewhere. Something tells me, I reckon we've got a good opportunity to get Caicedo. I'm not saying if it will happen, but something tells me I have a little bit of hope that we could go in for Caicedo, because Chelsea would have gotten done by now, right? And Brighton want to know whether Caicedo is leaving. And reports are going on Twitter, right? Chelsea are going to go in for a bid. Brighton want 80 to 100 million, right? And we're waiting around. Let's wait and see if Chelsea do go in for a bid this week. If they don't go in for a bid this week, we need to pounce and we need to go in and say, right, okay, we need to hurry up and quickly sell these players, right? Caicedo
Or do a mad thing and say, bun that, just sign Caicedo now. Wait, don't wait till Partey. Say, do you know what? Bun that, man. If he stays, he stays. If he goes, he goes. We got Caicedo anyway. And you know what? That would be the most gangster move ever. I'm going to America to spud the conkeys like this if we're on that, bro. Obviously,
even
we're
if
Arsenal.
Caicedo just came in, even if we asked for one player at least, I'd be happy. It wouldn't be enough, but at least I'd be happy at the end of the day, because that means you've got Caicedo. You've got a replacement for
Caicedo, yeah.
Caicedo.
No, honestly, because quite frankly, if Arsenal got Caicedo in, that's my football club back. Edu has gone and proved me wrong.
Bro, I hate it. Look, this is what I'll tell you, Luca.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Akpos agrees with me. Like, I can just about live with us getting Caicedo for part. I could, as in, just about live with it. That's not me saying I agree and think it makes us as strong, because it doesn't. Let's get it 100% right. It doesn't make us as strong, but I could just about live with it if it's Caicedo. If it's Lavia, let me not lie to you. Hey, I can't live with anything, bro. I can't live with any of that. Lavia has to come with another player on top of it. Pause.
It's not going to be anywhere near enough with just Lavia. It won't be.
Yeah.
It will literally be a sticky take. Look, Caicedo, to be honest, for me, I think, yes, a great up-and-coming prospect.
Mm-hmm.
He had a great season last season. And look, before I get into that, I'm going to add someone to the stream here, a little bit loud. He swears a little bit much. Unlike me, I'm very well fucking spoken. I'm going to add my guy, Kanebi, to the fucking pod.
Hooligan.
This guy's making his debut. What's going on, man? What's going on? What you saying? What you saying?
There goes the neighborhood.
I'm good. You guys are bugging.
I'm bugging.
You guys sound so negative. You guys sound like the transfer window.
So we should be happy about Partey leaving.
Thomas Partey leaving is a positive. Explain this to us.
It's not even about that. We don't even know anything to lend.
It is actually about that. This show is about Thomas Partey leaving, you see, and it's this far away from happening, right? Bro, so explain to me how you can be happy right now, mate.
I don't want him to go, but if it happens, it happens. I know the club probably have a very good, adequate replacement. I know it's going to be a top-notch replacement, but at the end of the day,
who's that guy?
At the end of
Let us know.
Tell us. I'm sure it's going to be a very good.
No, because you're calm. Tell me the player that's making you calm like this. Tell me the name of the player that's making you calm.
It's either going to be Caicedo or it's going to be Tuchemeni. That's it. That's what I feel.
And that's and you think this is going to be a doable for Arsenal to go and spend after spending 105 million?
I'm leaning towards Caicedo because we have Balogun who's up for 40, 50 million. Inter Milan just dropped a bid today. Then you have Thomas Partey, that's about 80 million in the bank. Then Holding is probably going to go. I don't know about Cedric. Cedric probably will go. Lokonga, I think Burnley wants him on a permanent deal. So we can raise some money and still sign another quality midfielder. But obviously, I don't want Thomas Partey leaving because of experience, synergy, and for the fact that he was practically the foundation of what Arteta built this team on. But at the end of the day, Thomas Partey is not the same engine we used to have, because last season, his fitness ran down. Towards the major games, he did not play. We had to play Jorginho against
Which player did not have a deep inform?
It was 5 games. It was 5 games. He should have been rotated. 5 games, he should have been rotated, but continue.
You guys, let me talk now. He played almost every game. His body wore out. I mean, come on, they took a doctor with him to Ghana. That tells you a lot.
That's not the first time it's happening.
Yeah, but it tells you that maybe the coach is seeing something we are not seeing, that maybe next season he can't cope because the Premier League is intense. Maybe he can't cope. And they want somebody younger who does the same work and they can get it in. I don't want Thomas Partey to leave, but this is what it is.
It's becoming too intense for Thomas Partey. Is that what you are saying, Kanebi?
Bruv, last season, how many games did he play? Yes, he played more games, but in the crucial games, we did not see him. We did not see him even the season before when we had that running against Tottenham, Newcastle, and
he was injured the season before, mate.
But I'm telling you, there's a track record. There's a track record that shows that he's not the fittest of players when it's crunch time. That's all I'm saying. When it is crunch time, Thomas Partey is not fit. So Arteta is looking at that. I'm saying, okay, if you can get 45 million from him, get it, cash it by a younger player. Bam. That's football. That's how football works. That's how the game goes.
This is the thing. 45 million is not pound. 45 million is euro. It's 45 million euro. 40 to 45 million euro.
If it's 45 million euros, it's 40 million pounds max.
It's 38 million pound. It's 38 million pound, and that might not be paid straight up front to Arsenal. So it could be in 2 installments. The 22 million that we got for Granit Xhaka, plus this doesn't even get us close to come in for Caicedo, if that's the guy. And Tchouameni is going to cost 100 million. Tchouameni is 100 million euro from Real Madrid.
But the brilliant thing about accounting is you, as long as you can show that you're expecting some certain income coming at certain times, you can actually pay for things if you have credit. So that's how the game works. Obviously, when we spend money on Declan Rice, we just dropped 33 million. Not that we dropped the whole 100 million. We're still going to drop another 33 million again. But at the end of the day, I feel if the club are stupid enough to sell Thomas Partey and not get a world-class or an adequate, suitable midfielder to replace him, then you guys can go crazy. But right now, we don't know what's going to happen. We don't even know.
Facts. But are you okay? Facts. But my question to you, because you're right with that point, are you confident that these boys will get that player in, Tchouameni or Caicedo? You're confident?
Well, it depends on the sale we have. If Thomas Partey goes fast,
this guy is still.
We have to September 1st. Kule. We have to September 1st. This is July. What was today's date? July 17th. Yeah. There's time. So if this deal wraps up quickly, let's say in the next 1 week or 2, are you telling me between now and September 1st they can't find a midfielder?
Of course they can. But who's the midfielder?
That's a very good point. But if you look at the situation at Arsenal Football Club right here, my guy in Perth is saying it. He goes, assuming Partey leaves, Lavia plus a quality forward or Caicedo, which moves the needle the most. Now, this is a good point. We still have an issue up front. We've caused an issue in the midfield right now. This is why I'm a little bit upset. See, we kind of had a solid
self-inflicted,
midfield.
Self-inflicted.
Yes. Yeah. We literally grabbed the knife and said, you know what? Geez, I wonder if that hurts. And it does. We are now looking at a gap in the forward line. We've got Eddie Nketiah. We've got Balogun, who looks like he could be here, could be gone, right? And now we've got a self-inflicted wound in the middle of the park, which we didn't have. So yes, we could go and wait till the end of the transfer window to spend the kind of money that we're going to need for a Caicedo, which is about 80 million or 100 million for Tchouameni. But what does that leave us for a striker then? If any striker comes in.
Aussie, let me bust your head. Goals are not our problem. Goals are not our problem. Goals
haven't been our issue. But we can't be one-dimensional.
That scored more goals than us is Man City. They have a fucking machine called Haaland. Do you get it? Our problem is defense depth. When Saliba got injured, we saw the difference. You know, Partey's drop in form, we saw the difference. I think him buying Timber, him getting Declan Rice, that's solidifying our midfield, our defense a bit, because Saka can score goals, Odegaard can score goals, Martinelli can score goals. Jesus will miss, but he will still score goals.
And you're right as long as Partey stays, bro. And everything you're saying is right as long as Partey stays. If he goes,
exactly, my brother.
There's a big hole in that bridge.
Players come and go, please.
Bro, it's not about... Okay, so my only issue, Kanebi, there's not one player in world football that comes in that replaces Partey straight away for me.
Caicedo.
Yeah. Not even... He's the closest. He's the closest. Wait, he's the closest straight for sure, but I don't know if it's straight away, Sha.
I disagree straight away on that.
I said the ball. Caicedo, please. Look,
bro, they are not.
I can sell my kidney for Caicedo. What?
One season. For one season.
Bro, that boy can play football. Come on. He played right back, solid.
Be careful.
One voice, guys. One voice.
You know now. You know.
One voice.
Anytime Caicedo has played against you, apart from the game away from home, where we beat them 4-4.
Bro, you're misunderstanding me and Akpos, bro. We're not saying Caicedo is not top quality. Akpos, maybe correct me if I'm wrong.
Level.
Not yet on that level.
Because of one
Maybe-
season.
may-
So far, he has just had one good season.
No
I don't know
problem.
what's going to happen next season.
Whatever you feel is fine. Bring him to me. You will see the level he's on. Bring him.
We're not screaming and yelling and saying Caicedo isn't quality player. You got to understand this. But all we're trying to say is this is a player, right, who's had one extremely good season. Now I know it could continue. That's wonderful. But Fofana to Chelsea, what happened? Fofana was a great player.
Injury prone
No, let me finish. Let me land.
Let him land.
Okay, then you can explain to me what happened to Cucurella at Chelsea.
Chelsea is a dead team.
The Chelsea example is a bit here and
One good season,
there, right?
one good season, and he fell off. One good
Chelsea
season, and he
is a
fell
dead
off.
football club, bro. Nobody can succeed in Chelsea. Chelsea is cursed. How can Sterling, who used to score goals, go to Chelsea and not score again? Lukaku,
Players, look where they came from. Look where the players have come from. Look where the players have come from.
Where? Who? Chelsea?
Right.
Yeah, look at the players I've just talked about came from. Look
Bro,
where they
Brighton
came
is
from.
a
Look
better
what's
team than
happened.
Chelsea right now. But Brighton is a better footballing team. Come on.
You're not understanding what I'm saying. I'm not saying that Brighton isn't a better football team. I'm just looking at players that have left and have gone to different teams, and look what's happened.
Yeah, I know, but that's down to bad luck and luck. At the end of the day, Fofana was an injury-prone player. He got injured too in Leicester for a long time. We forget that. He now came to Chelsea, he got injured. He's injury-prone, mate. Simple and plain. And Chelsea is a dead team. Look, you bring Caicedo to Arsenal with Arteta, with the kind of family, with the kind of unity we have, and we improve players. We have shown that in Xhaka. Xhaka became a fucking good midfielder last season. From nowhere.
Once he was played his position.
Yes. So are you telling me with the kind of coach we have and with the kind of atmosphere we have in that club, Caicedo is not going to be a world-class player? With the kind of potential he has?
Caicedo is definitely going to be a world-class player. You are spot on for that. I'm just not sure.
Will it be next season?
If straight away he does it. Look, maybe he does, Kanebi. I'm not saying it's impossible. Maybe he does, and that'll be incredible. But it's just like going from Brighton to going to pressure to win a title at Arsenal to replace someone that was so big like Partey in your first season. I'm not saying he can't, but it's the world of the unknown for the boy right now. I hope he can capitalize, and that'll be great for us because I'm in because he's got the ability to do it. But can he do it next season? I don't know. Will he do it before he leaves Arsenal? 100%. But straight away, I just don't know.
That's why you have Declan Rice. That's why you have Jorginho to provide that experience and carry him. Do you understand? You have Jorginho, you have Declan Rice. They have experience. Do you understand? So they can carry the boy. And for me, that boy to me is the next N'Golo Kante. If anybody who buys
bro, be careful with all this hype.
I said the next. I said the next. He's the next N'Golo.
He's not there yet.
N'Golo Kante was a World Cup winner at 25 plus. What were you talking about? N'Golo Kante was. That's why I said the next. That's why I said the next.
I'll say he has the potential to be the next N'Golo Kante.
He's the next.
I'm not calling him the next.
I'm telling you.
There's a lot of.
He has potential for sure.
Guys, there's a lot of next talk. There's a lot of the next Thierry Henry was supposed to be Martial. There's a lot of this kind of stuff.
Oh, Martial is a
No. We all knew that. Pepe was going to be wonderful as well, and that worked out wonderfully. You know what I mean? He's supposed to be the next gun. But it's all ifs, buts, and maybes. What the problem that I have with the movement of Thomas Partey is that we were struggling with issues when it came to depth. We were screaming about depth in the middle of the park. And the best way try to get depth is to replace maybe a starting 11 player with another quality player, whether it be a Lavia, a Caicedo. But in my mind, I look at it now by saying, see you later, Thomas Partey, in comes Caicedo. How have we solved the problem of depth? We are playing Champions League, we are playing Premier League, we are playing every other cup. But are we going to jump out of all the cups again, not compete there, and then focus on Champions League and Premier League, where it's going to be very difficult because we don't have the depth? Are we going to be talking about Arsenal's lack of depth in February because of moves like this? We made a silly move for Kai Havertz, much like we did for Fabio Vieira, and we paid for that last season when we didn't go for Tielemans. Tielemans would have been perfect for us last season. Maybe not this season, but last season. And now it looks like we are kind of making the same mistakes again. We spent 65 million, not completely, on Kai Havertz, and now we've just got rid of a key midfielder. I think everybody would have been happier to see Thomas Partey go first and that number 6 role filled with a real starting line player, and for us to splash 30 million on a makeshift number 8. Because right now, you can get Caicedo in, and if Caicedo gets injured tomorrow, your replacement is Jorginho. Now, you can't tell me that instills you with wonderful faith, Kanebi. Or is it El Neni that you would rather see there? Or is it Emil Smith-Rowe? Or how about I throw in a Sambula Conga? And if you want, I can jump in. Because that is not good enough for Arsenal Football Club to challenge the big beast of Manchester City.
Bro,
it won't be.
I hear where you're coming from, but at the end of the day,
we need more.
The window is far. We have a month and a half. We don't know what's going to happen. Let Arteta and Edu do what they want to do. At the end of the day, we're in a position right now where we
can only focus on right now, bro.
Exactly. We're in a position right now where we can bid for the best of players. If we're selling Partey, let's see what they have up their sleeve. Or there must be a plan B. Nobody sells one of their best players and doesn't have a backup or a replacement, unless Declan Rice is the replacement. Do you get? But Xhaka has gone. If not, I would have said, okay, fine, Declan Rice is the replacement, but Xhaka has gone. So I still think we might still even get maybe a midfielder and another winger. I heard reports today that we're still in for a winger. So let's
a winger would be great, man.
Right,
jump in, Akpos. Jump in.
I'm seeing the report just in now that
you know what I was
the Athletic are reporting that a 40 million euro bid will be coming in for Balogun. I think that should be rejected.
Inter, and that will be that was from Inter.
I said that today. They already made that bid. They already made that bid because Lukaku is probably going to Juventus.
Exactly.
Yeah, but we'll reject that bid, man. We want 50.
Oh, look, we want to. If we're going to be selling players,
apart from Leipzig and Inter, they don't have money, bro. If it's not a Premier League team, you're not expecting 50 million pounds.
I want 50.
The only Premier League teams that have cash on that.
50 million euros.
But at least 50 million euros should
from who?
Euros is okay.
It's only Bayern Munich. Only Bayern Munich can spend that much on a striker right now.
He's a young striker. He's a young striker. They need to pay. Good money.
They're saying 65, 80 million for Højlund. I beg.
You need to pay good
€50
look at if right now in this position that we're in right now. I'm going to ask you a quick one.
Yeah.
If we were to get Caicedo in now, you get Caicedo in. Thomas Partey leaves. It's the only midfielder you get, right? We do get another striker or a winger. Would that, and when I say striker or winger, not a striker of winger of Vlahovic-esque style or Mitrovic-esque or of quality, of high end, would that be enough in your mind with Partey leaving, Caicedo in, and maybe a makeshift striker? Would that be enough for Arsenal to challenge for the title?
For me, right, look, if we bring Caicedo in right now and if Partey left tomorrow and we slapped an £80 million bid by Friday or Saturday, then I think we've got enough midfield for that. But talking about attackers, Bannigan for me looks like he's going to be leaving. Looks like he's going out the door. For me, if you want a striker, then go out and sign maybe. I wouldn't mind Vlahovic. I wouldn't mind. Yes, because of the whole. Yes, because of the whole.
I'm saying you wouldn't be able to afford that with a Caicedo coming in at 80 million. You wouldn't have another 70 million to buy a Vlahovic. It would be a striker in the quality or in the realm of Eddie Nketiah, but just taller.
But the thing is, which other striker is there out there available? That's the thing. Like
that's not enough, Aussie.
Even if
that's what we're saying.
It's very
that's
hard
the truth
at the moment. Like we're not really looking at centre forwards, and like we've got goals. Look, we do need a striker, right? If you're talking about prolific goal scorer, go and get Victor Osimhen, right? Maybe someone like that.
Never happened.
I don't mind Taremi, you know. I don't mind having him as an option off the bench.
Or maybe someone like that. Get someone like that who's actually going to come in and he's actually.
Ivan Toney has a band though.
Yeah,
that's the issue.
Bro, I would have loved to see him at the Arsenal.
For sure. But as he's got the ban, I think the best thing to do as a stopgap is get in Taremi for a year and then save your money for Osimhen. Taremi from Porto.
Bro, I think we've passed that stopgap thing. Right?
But if it gives us a chance to get Osimhen for next summer, I'd do that, bro.
I'd
If that
rather
means
beg
we-
Balogun.
If that
I'd
means we
rather
get
give
to
Balogun all my
Osimhen
money.
next year, bro, I'm on
Tare
it.
what?
I'm on it. I'm on it.
Tare who?
But anyway, I want to address this comment from Kasiri William. It says,
The
how
fuck is
you
that?
disrespect Kai when he hasn't kicked a ball for Arsenal. It's so annoying watching it from you guys. Look, we're not disrespecting Kai, bro. I'll be honest with you, we're not disrespecting Kai.
William, thank you very much.
All we're doing is just saying we've not seen him perform over the last 2 years. So we can't just say, even though that's happened, let's blindfold ourselves to that and just go back in time and assume that the Leverkusen player is going to come out. No, we're not going to assume that because we've been watching him for the last 2 years and most of us have been abusing him. Yes, he might change our minds, but he's not so far off his football ability. 10 games into the season, he might. And I'll be shameless up on here talking about Kai Havertz doing a cartwheel and a knee slide right on Aussie Gooner TV. Rags. I don't care. But until then, there's no amount of words from any like pundit or comment section that is going to convince me that the Kai Havertz thing's going to work. I need to see it. I'm not saying it can't, but I need to see it with my own eyes, not explained it on a fucking PowerPoint presentation. I need to see it, bro.
I honestly, I said from the start of the season, 7 to 8 games, 7 to 8 Premier League games, just to give it a go and see what Kai can come up with. Because to be perfectly honest, I don't want to just look. I'm not jumping for joy in the Kai Havertz move, and I don't think anyone he really is. But it's benefit of the doubt. Benefit of the doubt. Strasbourg, Steve, in the building, wanted the link. You got the link. I'm having a bit of a meltdown, Steve, because I don't have any depth, mate. I mean, we've dug ourselves a bit of a hole now. Kanebi thinks it's great times. Celebration FC, Kanebi, bro. How you going, bro? You're loving this as a Newcastle fan,
bro. I'm not negative about anything right now. Nothing.
It's great to be an Arsenal fan for sure, but the Partey thing's a mad thing.
Nothing. You guys can have your meltdowns, whatever.
But we're not melting down. I'm excited, but we're
when I
talking
lose
about
3 points.
We're talking about Partey in
I lose 3
particular.
points, I have a
I'm not
meltdown.
happy about Partey, but I'm happy about Arsenal Football Club. I'm just not happy about Partey, bro. That's it.
This is a great time to be an Arsenal fan, man.
So do you want me to
trenches, man?
Do you want me to celebrate Partey leaving? Is that what I should do?
I'm not saying you celebrate Partey. Partey, guys, like
Partey's leaving. It's awesome, bro. We're stronger than we've ever been.
Man City had a bid.
Bro.
It's the same way when Man City placed the bid for Rice. Everybody, Edu, fuck Edu's father. Edu is going to die.
It's not even a little bit.
You guys should chill out, man.
Let
the window play out. Let's see what's going on. At the end of the window, you can place your bets, have your predictions. You know, but right now,
so, okay, can we be upset that we're losing a player? Can we not? Are we not allowed to be upset we're losing a player?
I think
definitely. Are we not allowed to be upset leaving the player?
Bro, I've lost Robin Van Persie. I've lost Fabregas.
I don't want to hear
all this Partey. I don't give a fucking Partey leaves tomorrow. Footballers come and go. Please stop all this.
No problem.
Arteta has a plan. If he wants to sell Partey, we're getting a replacement.
No, he has a plan, but he doesn't know what he's doing with Havertz.
Oh, you know more than Arteta now, right? You're a coach now, right? You know how to lead a team. You know how to take a team to Champions League right now. Huh?
He has a
See, we can all sit back here and speculate and talk and be fans about it.
That's the whole point of football YouTube.
Why is it that you can't care
about one voice, guys, one voice. Luca, go for it. Luca, go for it.
Why is it that, look, I respect your opinion, Paul, but the thing is, we will be upset if we end up getting rid of Thomas Partey. If Arsenal go and get someone even better than Thomas Partey, then we're not going to be upset.
We'll do another stream doing a freaking handstand, bro. Of course.
Yeah.
We'll do a live party.
And you can run it, Kanebi. You can be all you, Kanebi. You can be sitting there saying, I told you so. Prince Fuad in the building.
What's up, Steve?
You've been MIA for a long time. You had to get involved. Obviously, this one kind of got you because Thomas Partey is gone.
Bro, they're crazy. Bro, let me tell you something. I'm with them. I'm with Jar on this because what you're doing, you're dismantling a midfield that actually won the title. You got to be real. Like, I know everyone's saying, Lavia, everyone was going on about this Caicedo guy. Okay, he had a weak season. But then Cucurella have a great season for Brighton and went to Chelsea. Look what happened there. You got to be realistic. You can't break something that's already working. All right, fair enough. We got rid of Xhaka, but then you can't go and give it a party.
Crazy. Suicide.
You know, and the thing is, we've got to be real. Let's football terms. I watched that friendly against the other week. You put Havertz in centre mid. Bro, Havertz is no centre midfielder. This crazy talk going on YouTube, he's going to replace Xhaka. Good luck to him. But boys, you're all going to be let down at the end of the season. He can't move as a midfielder. He can't adapt himself as a midfielder. Havertz ain't replacing Xhaka. Look, listen, he never run back for Chelsea for 4 years. What makes you think he's going to run back for Arsenal?
Yeah.
Arsenal fans are just in their own zone, bro. And like, we bought Declan Rice. But like, I agree with Steve. Go out there and buy a bad boy striker. You can't. It's good getting rid of that, bringing Declan Rice. Don't get me wrong, Declan Rice. But bro, when you're getting rid of Thomas Partey, you've seen the levels in that friendly. When Partey,
you gotta have depth. You gotta have depth.
Yeah, man. We're Champions League football. When people talk to me, I don't agree with like. Personally, I wouldn't want to Ivan Toney. That's just a YouTube thing, bro. Bro, we want someone better.
Oh no. No, Ivan Toney, don't be YouTube. And I watched Ivan Toney the previous season. That guy is he's Harry Kane. Okay, trust me, he will be the next Harry Kane.
I'd rather go and get the Juventus one. More people are afraid of him than Ivan Toney.
You know one option that absolutely nobody's talking about and who plays with Ivan Toney and who is just as important to Brentford as Ivan Toney is? Mbeumo. Mbeumo. I am a massive fan of Mbeumo because if you think about it, not many teams play with two up top nowadays. But what do we do when it's two center backs in a partnership? They both get the credit, right? Gabriel and Saliba were really good for you guys.
With all due respect, Steve, bro, Mbeumo is man for like Newcastle. It's not for Arsenal, my guy, bro.
Bro, but this is
levels to this.
But the thing is, right? That's what scouting is, bro. It's about finding players that nobody did. I think Isak necessarily was the absolute perfect, correct signing for Newcastle? I had other guys in front of him, but look what he's done immediately when he came back from that injury for Newcastle. Produced goals straight away and great performances.
I hear it. But people like Arsenal and stuff were in for Isak, so we knew the quality, bro. And Mbeumo, man, right. Brentford guy, he's good, but he's not Arsenal level, bro. Sorry,
how do you know he's not Arsenal level though?
Because I watch.
And how do you know that an Ivan Toney is?
Luca's right.
When I watch Brentford, I watch them both play, and don't get him twisted. Quality. He's quality, but he's not Arsenal level quality, bro. He's just not. Honestly, he's a good player.
I think the kind of players
next level. That's what I mean.
I think the kind of players that we need now need to make a dent in this 11, and really, when they're coming off the bench, give Mikel Arteta a hard time. Now, my guy Del Boy Gunner's in the mix. Del Boy, welcome to the channel. Big up, man. Thank you for jumping on. I know you're in the van. Thomas Partey news. I don't think. Are you amused by the Thomas Partey news? Pretty much walking out the club. You know, in the coming days. How are you? What's your vibe?
Yeah, look, big up to everyone in the room, big fucking legends in here. So I've enjoyed the show. I was actually just doing work there, and I had just all on the background. It was actually enjoyable to listen to. You know what I mean? Some sense being taught, some shite as well. But no, look, with the Partey thing, look, we're like. He was unbelievable for his last season when he was, like, you know, injury free and stuff like that. I thought he was very good in his last 2 seasons. And I sort of get everyone's point. I do understand that. But as a backup now to, like, let's say the likes of Declan Rice, because Declan Rice is 100% starting, you know, if he gets injured, anything like that, he's not bad to have there, you know what I mean, coming on the bench, because I'd rather him than Jorginho coming in, you know. But we're seeing now, the whole, I was reading there this morning, the whole, Jorginho's great to have around the club. Everyone loves him. Everyone gets on with him and stuff like that. So that's Arteta starting to flirt with the whole Jorginho thing. Like, you know what I mean? If Partey leaves, don't worry about it. We have Jorginho here. You know, I'm not really happy with that. You know, I think Partey, I'd rather keep him and bin Jorginho. You know, that's the way I'd have it. But we have to be thinking now what Man City have on the bench. You know what I mean? Any one of their bench players, they walk into any Premiership team. You know what I mean? We have to have that as well on our bench. I said it last year, we've a great first 11. After that, we were in a bit of trouble, and we found out towards the end of last season.
Kidnap Partey, yeah?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, you're spot
is the
on,
thing.
though, boy. You're spot on. No, go on, Steve.
No, this is the thing. Everyone knows what Partey brings to the table, doesn't it? I think every Arsenal fan knows. And I understand Kanebi's, not an argument, but I understand where Kanebi was coming from in regards to we can replace him, Caicedo's there. But I think as a whole, we're looking at the importance of Thomas Partey in the six, already fluent in the kind of football that we play, that we want it to be. We don't want the whole midfield to be pulled apart and then put together again for it to just flow. It's not going to happen in that fashion. It's going to take time. And when it comes to the Premier League, let's be honest, with Manchester City, the beast that it is, I don't think we have time to sit here with a makeshift midfield. As good as it'll look, Caicedo and Rice will be wonderful side by side. No one will argue that. But the amount of time it'll take for them to build a knowledge of one another's game, I think that's the biggest issue.
Yeah, we just don't know how long it'll take. It might be quick, it might, and I hope it is, but we just don't know. I believe it'll be easier for Rice to be added to Odegaard and Partey rather than Caicedo and Rice be added to just Odegaard on his own. It's basically not adding anything. You're just creating a brand new midfield, which could take time, but it could gel. Like it's just too much. Could maybe I don't know what's going on. That's why I'm nervous. That's what it is going to be.
Yeah, but
basically.
You know what? Today, it come out the club though. Come out the club that all them speculations with Thomas Partey leaving. None of them are concrete evidence. You know, he's on the plane now back to America.
Oh, he is.
Yeah, today they confirmed. They said yesterday he's going to be.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, the club confirmed today that he's on the plane already on the way to America. And all them rumors come out yesterday from a source that really, bro, they said we're going to sign Mbappe, bro. Come on, bro. Mbappe said, "I'm coming."
Thank you very much.
And the whole team.
Hey, Aussie, get this guy off the screen, man. Get Kanebi.
No. Look, I understand where he's coming from, but I haven't seen that source. I haven't seen that from Arsenal Football Club.
From the club
and when I looked at, and we have looked at the lineup, it's like we're going to be seeing ESR and Thomas Partey in a week. Apparently a week. Now ESR I can kind of understand, but Thomas Partey in a week doesn't make any sense, especially with 3 different reports that I've seen in the past 24 hours that are coming in that Thomas Partey's out the door.
It might be visa issues. You know, he's African.
Yeah, he's right.
I'm sure he's a Spanish citizen. I'm sure
it's probably visa issues. It's probably visa issues. You see, the media love to make news about Arsenal because Arsenal fans are going crazy. I mean, they told us that the paperwork for Declan Rice was frustrating people. Everybody just went crazy. But fuck the media. They keep doing this bullshit. Nothing is sure or nothing is certain. I don't think Arteta will want to sell Partey without having a proper replacement in line. It would be very stupid of him. Very, very stupid.
I completely agree.
Another thing, Steve, you've got to be careful because these are the same people. These are the same people 2-3 weeks ago, right? Last month was saying that Man City, the deal's done, he's going, and then it was Dean Jones, the first one to say, no, he's favoured to go Arsenal, and Austin said that, and people are still like, no, and then what happens after? Look where he is. The 2 people, everyone refuted and they all cursed. The 2 people who got it right. So if I don't see it from Dean Jones and Austin, then it's not official because them 2 they get their sources. They got the best sources.
We can only cross fingers.
The company said he's going to Arsenal. When everyone, even Sky Sports said he's going to Man City. Talk Sports said he's going to Man City. Them 2, Austin and Dean Jones, the only 2 said, nah, he's going to Arsenal. And look where he ends up. So all the pundits and all the people who listen to big ones, the big names, the big thing, that the famous ones got it wrong, and these 2 little journalists got it right. How does that make sense? So if it don't come from Austin and Dean Jones, I don't listen to him.
I completely understand. But my problem is, why isn't he on a plane?
No, because he's got issues, but he's definitely, the club confirmed he's flying.
What the issues? No, I want to know what these issues are. What are they? What are the issues?
It's confidentiality, isn't it? They're assumed to contracts. They can't come out to the public. Like Arsenal won't tell you. Arsenal don't tell you how much they pay. I don't even think they paid 60 million for Havertz. I think Arsenal got it for 50. But it's installments.
It's installments. It's 65 million in installments.
That's my opinion, bro. I don't think Arsenal got 65 million. Come on, bro. It's got to be cheaper, bro. We're a
65 million pounds, and it will be paid in installments. horrible. But Delbo, you were going to say something. What were you saying? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I just wanted to sort of jump on what you were just saying there earlier on about, like, you know, the change of stuff like that. Like, look at Liverpool this season. Well, first of all, what's Arsenal's goal this season? It surely is to challenge for the title, 100%.
Yes.
If you're changing in midfield so much, it really does upset the apple cart a bit, you know what I mean? Because, like, look at Liverpool, their midfield is done. They have to do a whole rebuild in their centre midfield. If we have Kai Havertz midfield, where is he going to play him? You have new Declan Rice. If you're going to take out Thomas Partey and add in a new player, that's 3 players in midfield as well that you're after adding. And exactly what you were saying, it takes time for these players to gel together. If we're going to try and win a league, we have to hit the ground running 100%.
I think though, you know, I think Havertz, though, this is my opinion, bro. I don't even think he's starting, bro. I think Rice is. I don't even think Partey's going. I think what's going to happen is Declan Rice is going to start, Partey's going to start, and others are start, and his ass is going to be on the bench.
And that's the whole problem with the Havertz transfer, because if he is not starting and you paid $65 million for him, I don't even rate him. But on that price tag alone, surely from the PR angle of things and just
but
the
that's
financial
Newcastle's
side
level,
of
bro. With all due respect, that's Newcastle's level. Arsenal's level going to be like Man City.
No, I'm not talking Newcastle. No. You know me, Prince. I watch football all around the globe. I'm not talking about Newcastle level, Arsenal level. We're talking Arsenal right now.
No, but
for me,
Steve, Arsenal is a football club. Got to do a man. If you want to challenge the best, they had £100 million on the bench. We can't sit there, Arsenal fans. We paid $64 million for him to start. Sit your ass on the bench. That's where you are. You ain't coming above Partey. You ain't coming against Ortega, and you definitely ain't signing above Rice.
We're not in a position. We're not in a position, Fuad. We're not in a position, and I think even Kanebi will agree.
No,
Kanebi, we're not in a position right now. Think of it this way: you have £65 million, right? You had £65 million in your kitty. If you're looking at Kai Havertz yourself, would you have signed Kai Havertz for £65 million Kanebi? Or would you have gone and taken that 1 sec, I'm just giving it to Kanebi. Would you have taken that £65 million, put a little bit on top and got yourself Caicedo? Would you put £65 million on the bench? Would you put £65 million on the bench?
With or without 65 million, I'm buying Caicedo first. Do you understand?
Yes.
Do you understand? That's it. With or without Caicedo, I'm buying Caicedo first before Kai Havertz. I'm not gonna lie to you because
100%.
Probably you might have even got it. You might have even got him before Declan Rice. You probably would have got him before Declan Rice.
No.
It would have been an easier deal. It would have been an easier deal to get done than Declan Rice.
It depends because Brighton themselves are not pushovers because Chelsea have not closed that deal yet. So that should tell you that Brighton too won 100 something million.
Brighton, bro. Instead of buying Kai Havertz, you could have gotten Nicolo Barella for a little bit more.
Nah.
Stephen, can I just make
I don't trust those Italian players.
Guys. One voice. Akpos, it's yours.
Well, for me, I hear what Steve was saying there in terms of Barella, because for me, I would have taken Barella in a heartbeat ahead of Kai Havertz. But the thing with the Kai Havertz signing, I've said it on this channel before, is I'm not convinced about the signing, but my faith is in the manager. I want to see how this one will pan out, because when there were news about the whole Kai Havertz thing and when the signing was official, I spoke to a couple of my friends who are football coaches, because I'm not a coach. I wanted to get their own perspective from a technical standpoint of view, what they thought was Mikel Arteta's plan. And none of them were able to give me anything feasible. They said, yes, I'm going to say it on the show.
I thought he was going to say, they told me that he's going to be doing this.
They also were trying to figure out what Mikel's plan was. So, but for me, I'm just trusting my manager, because so far it's signings. The player has gotten into the door. I've been able to, I could say yes. So far, his signings I've done well. So I know my manager. I'm trusting my manager on this one, but the player I don't know. So I want to see how that one will pan out, and I'm hoping, I'm praying that we will not be wasting all of that money spent for Kai Havertz.
Delboy had something to add.
I look at it like this.
Can I just say something?
Always got something.
What we're all forgetting, right? And Prince, you know I love you, mate, but I agree with Steve here. Kai Havertz plays 100%. He apparently is on 330 grand a week. So are you going to tell me that he's going to sit in the bench for that? Not a fucking chance. He's going to
listen. But Delboy, this is Delboy. To be honest with you, Delboy, you can't as an Arsenal fan, all right? If you're gonna think like that, then think Champions League football. Oh yeah. So don't moan about this. This is what if you're gonna think big, you have to have big on the bench, bro. You can't turn Arsenal fans can't turn around and say we're gonna spend 100 because even if Caicedo comes in, he's not guaranteed to start. The way Arteta does his team, he like Kieran Tierney, for instance, he was one of Arteta's best players 2 years ago. He sat his ass on the bench. So we can't sit here and say that Arteta, because he signed him, is going to definitely start him. Me personally, I'll keep his ass on the bench because the problem with the Havertz is a centre mid you've seen already. It ain't going to work. Maybe the last 15, 20 minutes, 45 minutes, half an hour, get him up the front and let him see if he can score a header.
Do you know what I'll say about
45 minutes for 65 million. That's the problem.
Yo, bro,
this is what I'll say to like. Hold on, Fuad, one sec. Like in terms of what Delboy and Steve are saying, I hear it in terms of are you going to spend 65 million to put a guy on the bench, his salary and all that stuff. I understand it, but a lot of people kept it like we if we need to compete with a juggernaut like City, we're just gonna have to do moves like that where we have a lot of money on the bench. It's just happened that way. And what Havertz come in for me, whether I see his role in the side or not is not relevant right now because for some reason our manager sees it. So I hope he gets it right. As hopeless as I think it is, I hope he knows what he's doing in this situation. But Havertz coming in and maybe another midfielder, what it creates is what I've been waiting for as an Arsenal fan for ages is if come the weekend games, I don't know what my starting 11 is going to be. And that's what Havertz brings more than anything, rather than he's definitely going to play as the 8 or he's definitely going to play as the false 9. He's definitely like, I just want to know that we have different options. Oh, we got a different type of team in the Champions League. Maybe we start Havertz in the 8 because that's what's needed for that situation. But if it's not working at halftime, we can pull him back off and go for Rice and Partey in the midfield. Do you get what I'm saying? I like
that. Be a Partey option. Remember, Partey's gone, mate.
Well,
Partey's
you know what I meant though.
But you know
I think Kai Havertz. Sorry to cut across. I personally do think that for some reason, I don't know what the fuck it is. It must have been all the drink I had the weekend. But I think I'm going to get a tune out of a Havertz, definitely. You know what I mean? And lads, on that note, I have to go off and rob an Elwyn and fucking do a job for her, basically. Not physically rob her. But on that note, thanks a million to all you legends in the chat and all, and all the panel. Big up, guys. Thanks for having me on sale.
Big
up, Doughboy.
By far the best accent.
What I was just going to say about the Havertz and the price tag and Man City have these expensive players. Man City don't just, outside of maybe a few signings, maybe a few like Calvin Phillips, they don't just go out spending big amounts of money for the hell of it just to be like, ooh, look at us. We have a expensive signing on the bench. Ooh.
Yeah, but that's not why we signed him though. For 65.
He's a starting player.
Arteta.
But you see, you're missing. You know, all season, and everyone says it. Man City got 2 teams on the bench, and all Arsenal fans, even football fans in general. You put it on a poll. They'll say how many teams Man City got. They got 2 teams.
They don't have 2 teams,
mate. They put a guy.
Does Bernardo Silva start every game, Steve?
No, we don't.
No.
Does Mahrez start
every game? No, we don't.
Foden doesn't either.
So yeah, but how much?
And how much are they worth?
Exactly,
a lot of money.
$300 million.
But the other thing is that they can move different positions. So yes, Foden doesn't.
So can Havertz, bro. So can Havertz, bro.
But he's nowhere near at that level of a.
No. But
the manager seems to believe so, bro. Do you get what I'm saying? I hear you. I agree with you, Steve. I don't think he's that level, but somehow, some way, Arteta believes he can get a tune out of him in different positions, which is why I don't believe when everyone's saying, "Oh, he doesn't know what he's doing with Havertz." I doubt that meeting went better. No, he has to because how does the meeting go, Steve? Hey, yeah, Havertz, you know what? I want you to come to the Emirates. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with you, but just come.
Thank you.
Have
Thank
blind.
Thank you, Arteta. Where are you playing? Or where are you playing the German?
You can always. All right, if you're going to go football,
it's not going to work like that, man.
Steve.
There's obviously a plan for this guy.
Yeah, exactly.
I think we can all agree.
Steve, you can go football.
But we just don't know
instance,
it. That's what it is.
For instance, you can have a plan B. All right, like I said to my mom, like a plan B could be. He can easily change you what happens. You can say, okay, you know what? Like say for instance, say Saka needs a rest. You put Gabriel Jesus on the right and put him up front.
I'm thinking Odegaard. Rest Odegaard.
No, you're missing a point. No. Havertz, look, when you go into Havertz's career, he was signed up by whatever team he plays for, Leverkusen, Chelsea. He was signed as a striker and an attacking midfielder. Striker and an attacking midfielder.
He was raised in Leverkusen's academy as a winger.
Yeah. So Arsenal, if it's Arsenal, like Arteta can have got options now. We can say, you know what, Saka, you rest now. Gabriel Jesus can play on the right. He did it for Man City. Havertz, you're going up front. There's options there. Because we need a plan A, plan B. We can't just have the same one. Right. Last year, we got figured out. People knew our thing. So Arteta's going to have something under his sleeve. We don't know what it is till like Jaja said, till this first game of the season.
Yeah, he better, bro.
Yeah. Guys, I'll be
your team, bro.
I'll be
What team does he support?
I'm gonna give my
What team does he support?
Bro.
What team does he support?
Newcastle. Have been since 17-18.
Everyone's got a soft spot. Look, Kanebi, everyone's got a soft spot for Newcastle. Relax yourself. They're not. Everyone's got a soft spot.
I don't know what that is. I don't know what Newcastle is. I'm sorry. Let's move on.
Kanebi, leave Steve.
Leave Steve.
I know Alan Shearer.
Should not be our problem.
No.
Don't be mean to Steve. He's a nice guy. He's a good bloke. He's a good bloke. Guys, look, honestly,
worry about what Eddie Howe's going to be doing this season. If he can maintain what he did last season, not Arteta.
Kanebi.
I'm just going to enjoy
He's not coming in bantering with you. He's not bantering with you. He isn't. He's actually just sitting here, just being.
I'm not saying anything. I didn't do anything. I haven't said anything. I'm just saying. I have a smile on my face.
You did say something, Kanebi. You did say, and you're trying to instigate.
I'm not saying I didn't say anything. I just said he should be worrying more about Eddie Howe than Arteta. You should leave Arteta alone. After all, Arteta.
I'm waving the right flag on his behalf, bro. Please.
I swear, I love this panel. I love the chat. I love this discussion. It was such a wonderful show, and we could go on for days. I'm pretty sure everyone in the chat knows we could go on for bloody days. But I'm not gonna do it to the guys. I'm not gonna do it to my panel. But guys, look, I'm gonna wrap this show up. But before I wrap it up, I want to talk. I'm gonna give everyone a bit of a chance to just plug their channels because we didn't do any of that because the convo kept on flowing. Kanebi, where the hell can people find you apart from an alleyway? Right, taking out Spurs fans. Where can they find you?
I take out all kinds of fans. Any opposition who hates Arsenal, I take them all out. As long as you hate Arsenal, you're dead. But anyways, you can find me on Twitter. You can find me on YouTube. You can find me on Instagram, Kanebi Graham. But once you just type in my name, you practically just find me on everywhere. Kanebi.
Easy.
Yeah, it's just
easy as Nigerian Englishman.
I got the Niger. Catch me on One Touch TV. Check out the North London Rivals tomorrow with Deji Spurs. You can catch me on all platforms on One Touch TV. Also with my brother from another, Kanebi and Tunnel TV. A lot of new things coming for that channel this season, so watch out for your announcements in the work. So big up.
Big up, my guy. Thank you for joining me. Akpos, I keep trying to get you to do stuff on your channel. Where? When?
Not to worry.
How?
Not to worry.
What?
Man, not to worry. I'm coming out smoking this season. So you can always find me on here. You can also always find me on One Touch TV. That's like my second home also. And you can always find me on Football and Pidgin across all the different social medias. That's if you speak Pidgin by any chance. For the best Pidgin content in the universe, you go to Football and Pidgin. And also more like Steve rightly said, more work is in the frames for my personal channel, the Football Talk Show. You can always find me there also. Thanks for having me, Steve. Love it,
mate. Anytime. I'm happy that you jumped on. Fuad, I know you've been here, there, and everywhere. Kind of disappeared, but he's back again. Fuad, where are they going to find you? Can they find you, or are you still hiding in the shadows?
You can find me on YouTube, Prince Fuad TV, and you can find me on Twitter, Prince Fuad on Twitter.
Big up, man. Big up, my guy. Big up. Steve-O, come on. Plug it, man. Plug it.
I want to add all of you on Twitter. Prince Fuad, right?
It's Prince Fuad. It should come up. I got a photograph with everyone, one of the nemesis no one likes, but I like him.
Oh, Shaka.
Yeah.
Gonna Chaka.
You can find me on Twitter, Stove Mahala, STOVEMACHALA, and I'm on YouTube, Strasbourg Steve, and then Newcastle Fans TV, obviously coming up on 3 years that I've been a part of the channel. So yeah, it's I'll be actually in. I'm watching all 3 of the Newcastle's preseason games in the States, in Atlanta, Philadelphia, and New York. So I'll be flying. I think it's 5 flights in 8 days around the U.S.
Wow.
So,
bro, you need to do a vlog on that one, on Steve. Do a
Steve,
vlog
I just
on that. I
followed
want to
you.
watch it.
I like your display picture though. I like what you're burning right there.
Thanks, man.
Guys, the link up, the hook up. Guys in the chat, big up all you guys. Smash the likes. Please subscribe to my guys' channels. Honestly, you can see it's a crazy conversation. Doesn't matter what channel you go to. My guys are always going to have a shits and giggles moment. You know what I mean? So it's always decent. You know, it might not be the biggest stream, the mainstream friggin' shows, but you know what? You know what you're getting when you come and get these guys on the same place. You know what I mean? So look, from the Aussie Gooner, from the panel, thank you for joining us. Let's Uru, guys. Uru.
Uru.